Hi everyone, it's Phoebe from Kuneli Crafts, and today I'm going to show you how to make a Chinese New Year card, or Lunar New Year's card as some people call it. So we're going to be making something like this, and the set I'm going to be using is the Menagerie mix-up. Really cute, all these animals that you can make. So let's get started. Today I'm going to use Blushing Bride, and I'm going to try something with a piece of cardstock that I've embossed. The things that I'm using today are this stamp set, and I also have this line from the Mountain Adventure, which is this piece here, but you can use anything, any stamp, or you can even draw it with a marker. For these, I don't know if you guys know this, but the nice thing about these photopolymer ones is that you can adjust the stamp the way you want. So let's try. I have my Memento black ink. Let's see how this works. I should have thought ahead and stamped it first before I embossed it, but I only thought of this after, so let's see. That's not too bad. I'll show you how I made these cute lanterns. So I have this old punch. I can't even remember what it's called. I think it was Moisaic something, but I wanted to make something with lanterns, and I thought this was the perfect shape. So I have a piece of red. This is real red cardstock. And for this one, I thought it looked a little too much like a Christmas bauble. What I've done is I've snipped one side, but for this card, I think I want to cut both sides, and that really looks like a little lantern. So we can do another one like that. And you also want something like a yellow. Any yellow will do. You can use any yellow. Hello Honey, Delightful Dijon are the ones that are older, but you can use the ones we have now, which are Crushed Curry. Anything that kind of conveys gold. So we have that there, and I'll just cut off one more, and there you have it. So the way I kind of embellished these to make them look a little bit more like lanterns is just use this Stampin' Chalk marker. This is a white marker, and you can just draw right on it, and it doesn't have to be exact. Just gives it a bit more of a paper lantern feel to it. And we can do that with the other one. Again, it doesn't have to be exact. And for the yellow one, I might just use the gold. This is a gold marker. And for the yellow one, I'm just going to go the other way. And there we have our lanterns. You can put these on dimensionals, or you can stick them down with any adhesive you'd like. I think I'm going to put these ones on dimensionals. So this year marks the year of the ox, and I was thinking if you all want to tell me what sign you are, you can just look that up on Google, and everybody that enters or lets me know what sign they are, I will do a little draw, a random draw for everybody that enters, and I'll send you a little prize pack, maybe a few cards. Let's see, so this is the card so far. The next thing we're going to do is build a little cow, which is super cute. In the interest of time, I've just pre-assembled them, but I just wanted to show you the different pieces that we're using. So from the stamp set, there's all these different pieces like the head, the body. I just want to show you a quick kind of tip here. If you have one of these big blocks, you can either do that, or what I've done is, because there's so many pieces for this card, you can use an empty case. And that way you won't lose the teeny tiny pieces, because there's these ears go flying, or the tiny little letters. So this is a good place to kind of corral them. So you'll need a head, a body, the little horns, the ears, and those come with the dies. So you're going to die cut those ones out. You have these little eyes also. Just show you what it looks like. So here are the eyes. And this is how we know it's a cow or an ox. That's what he looks like. There's many different ways you can color this little guy. I don't have a ton of these Stamp and Blend markers. I did use them for some of the accents, but I do have watercolor pencils. So I'm using watercolor assortment 2, and this is Cajun Craze, and I'm thinking about somebody that doesn't really love this color, but it kind of comes out as a brown when you use this. So let's just get started on coloring this little guy. You just want to kind of do it in circles, kind of just around so that you don't see lines. And I'll show you what I do to kind of smooth this out. You can use your watercolor paintbrushes to blend the color. So it just kind of softens and it just accentuates it a little. So I don't know if you can see the difference between the head and the body, but it just looks a little bit more uniform. So after you're happy with the coloring of the cow, I just put some accents on it. This is actually light purple posy, and I thought, oh, this is never going to work. It's going to look way too purple, but it actually wasn't too bad, and I was happy with the results because I don't have any pink. So just experiment with what you have, and you might be surprised. And also, if you want to make it more of a bowl because it's ox, you can just put a little ring here, just like that. And there's our cow. So once we have our cow, we can place him on the card. We don't have to glue anything down yet. Just replacement and see if you like it. I think that's pretty good. Now for the sentiment, I used a set called, now I've lost it. Here it is. If I had a nickel for every time I said I lost it, I think I could buy the entire catalog. But anyway, so this is Cheers to the Year that I'm using. This is also a retired set, but I really like the imagery on this. It has a small enough sentiment there. I've stamped it out. I didn't love Cheers to a New Year, so what I've done is I've just cut up the pieces, and you can just use them separately. So we have year, which we can fix, and I have new. Okay, if you're happy with that, I wanted to accent it with a little bit of red because it looks a little bit bland when you just have the white on, very vanilla. So I have all these little pieces of scrap that I keep, and you can just put them here like this, and you can eyeball it. If you really want to be precise, you can obviously use your cutter, but I didn't want to be that precise for such a tiny piece. I don't know if there's other cultures that have some funny traditions and such, but I remember one of the things my grandmother used to say was we weren't allowed to wash our hair on New Year's Day because it would wash away fortune or whatnot. So that was something funny that they told us. So we had to wash our hair the day before and also clean the house the day before New Year's because you weren't supposed to sweep on New Year's Day. We weren't very superstitious. My family wasn't really superstitious, but they always told us things like that. Oh, I also wanted to show you a little trick that I thought was kind of neat. This little piece is the tail from the Menagerie bundle, and it's supposed to be for the cow, but I didn't use it on the cow. On this card, I used it as the little tassels for the lanterns. I thought that was kind of a neat idea. I just saw this the tail, and I thought it looked exactly like a little tassel. So use your favorite adhesive to glue the sentiments onto your red background. I use Tombow. That's my favorite glue. Everybody that knows me knows that this liquid multi-purpose glue is my favorite. And once you have the sentiments glued down onto your red background, you can affix them to the card. So I'm using these glue dots just to prop them up a tiny bit. And when you like the placement, you can just fasten them down. And for the cow, I'm going to use these dimensionals. These things are great. It just gives them a little bit of a lift. Just pops them up a little bit. And there we have our New Year's card. I've also put all the tassels on and all the loops on the lanterns, and if you're happy with the way that looks, you can affix it to your card base. Just a tiny bit all the way around is how I always do it. Center the card, and this is what I love about the liquid glue. If you don't have it quite right, you still have a little bit of wiggle room before it's completely fastened on there. I just wanted to also put in a tiny little red envelopes because Chinese New Year or Lunar New Year is all about the red little packets of money that you get. I don't get them anymore because I am married, but I do give them to my daughter. And I'm just going to decorate that with a tiny bit of gold with my marker, just so that it looks like an envelope. And you can affix that also with a glue dot. And here he's holding his little red envelope and he's ready for the new year. And here you have your finished card. I had so much fun making it that I came up with the slimline version as well. Don't forget to leave your Chinese zodiac sign in the comments to get your name in the draw for a little treat from me. Thanks for watching. Until next time.